Hey everybody, it is Kellen Nitro for Nitro Maniac TV's Wrestling Unlimited coming at you with a NITRO'S take of all of the Night 2 action from New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom 14 in Tokyo, Japan from the Big Dome. This is the first time they've done a 2-night show like this for this event, and this was, in my opinion, the more stacked card of the two. This one ran on January 5th, 2020. And here are my thoughts, my opinions, and feel free to post yours in the comments below as the video goes on, or, with a certain point or whatever. Hey, feedback is good. So the opening contest on the pre-show was the never open-weight 6-man Gauntlet, and the Bullet Club side and the Chaos side started. Here were the teams again, just for you guys to be reminded of who was involved in this match off the top. The house lights were still on in the Tokyo Dome, so people were still finding their seats and whatever, but this was the opening contest of the evening. The LIJ side, Los Ingobernables de Japón of Evo, Shingo Takagi, and Bushi, they ended up on top in this match. They ended up defeating the most violent players who were the champions going into this Makabe and Yano and Taguchi, who were the champions, like I said, going into this. Chaos, which is Tomohiro Ishii, Yoshihashi, and Robbie Eagles. The Suzuki-gun side of Taichi, El Desperado, and Kanemaru. And the Bullet Club side of Bad Luck Fale, Takahashi, and Chase Owens. The length for this match was 23-23. A botch to start as the Bullet Club and the Chaos side started this thing. Kind of a hokey cover by Bad Luck Fale to Robbie Eagles after the golden spike finish that he uses. The ref kind of let up on the count, so we'll be watching for that on Botchamania, I guess, or next week or so. Ishii gets the pin on Owens to eliminate Bullet Club, and then the Suzuki-gun side is up next. They come down. Larger pop for Taichi tonight with the whole pants removal spot. Yeah, I said that. Quite the standing switch sequence by Eagles and Kanemaru, which led to a small package roll-up by Eagles for a 1-2-3. I think Eagles in 2020 could be going after that Rev Pro British Heavyweight Championship. Dude is deceptive at his technical skills. He is an up-and-comer in that department for sure. LIJ was up next. Again, this match was just the Robbie Eagles show. He looked awesome in this thing. He had a great sequence with Bushi to open. And then LIJ later on was just swarming Tomohiro Ishii. And then eventually Evo got the pinfall with the Darkness Falls on Ishii, I believe, and the champs came up next, which was Yano, Taguchi, and Makabe. Yano was up to sneaky tricks. He almost got a quick free count roll-up on Evil, probably within the first, 10 seconds of the encounter. So again, this is a gauntlet, so kind of like a Rumble match where once one side is defeated, they vacate, and then the other side comes in, and the winning side just keeps going through opponents until the end of the gauntlet, right? Taguchi hits the Bumae knee. Sup, Shinsuke? How you doing? But Bushi hits the mist, and Takagi hit the Made in Japan finish for 1-2-3. The Dragon gets the LIJ side to 6-man belt. And so again, LIJ ends up walking out with the never openweight 6-man belts. A great little open. Again, runtime 23-23. And going into New Year's Dash, which again, later tonight, we've got, brand new never openweight 6-man tag team straps. We got some news items after that. New Year's Dash was announced as a mystery card. We won't know anything until the ring announcer shows up and lets us know tomorrow prior to the card what goes on. So, yeah, it's a mystery card. We don't know what's going to happen. So, and that's all we got. Seriously, that's all we were able to see on the stream because it decided to go back to the pre-show sequence on the stream. This was the beginning of a lot of issues last night with the New Japan World live streaming service that I found. It was for the first time since ordering it and using it. It was very not very good. It was very hit and miss. Then we jump to the main card, and the final match of the amazing career of Jushin Thunder Liger opened up the card. Liger the final, where we had Sano and Liger take on Hiromu Takahashi and Dragon Lee in a tag team match. And this thing was really a great showcase for for Lee and Takahashi. And Sano himself, he's close to 70 years old, and he's in there in the ring. Charleston says that Takahashi's new finisher, which he debuted against Will Ospreay the night before and winning the IWGP Junior Heavyweight belt, is called the Time Bomb 2. Both sides were getting great responses until Lee and Hiromu proceeded to beat down Liger in a double team in a corner, and that turned Lee and Takahashi heel for the rest of the match. Just like that, just on an instant. Amazing performers can do that. That's just amazing skill level. I have down Sano looks amazing. Yes, for somebody who's close to 70 years old, he looks incredible. Time Bomb by Hiromu got the 1-2 free for Takahashi and Lee. Liger goes 0-2 on his final weekend, and yes, that moment was so huge that it blew up the live stream for New Japan World. We all got kicked out, and the next thing I remember seeing once I logged back on was Roppongi 3K making their entrance. So I have no idea if there was a respect angle shown at the end of it or whatever, but there it was. So it brings up the IWGP World Junior Tag Team straps. The Tag Team Championship straps are on the line here with Ishimori and ELP. Taji Ishimori and ELP taking on Roppongi 3K, Sho and Yo. It's a really hard-hitting match to start. But ELP got his entrance jacket in time for Wrestle Kingdom. He had been talking on Twitter that it had been held up in customs from Vancouver. So I'm glad that he was able to grab all his Wrestle Kingdom 14 special stuff and be out there. Dude's going to be a performer to watch in the 2020s with New Japan for sure. I think he's just starting to hit his stride with that company. Bullet Club team was just ragdolling Roppongi 3K early. There was a tandem groin stomp, which was kind of, it hurt a little bit. Ishimori, though, is so good. There was an amazing destroyer by Sho on ELP, which is almost like, they were almost going for like a magic killer type maneuver, and then out of it, Sho was able in midair to kind of recorrect and grab ELP into the Canadian destroyer in midair. It was just high flying. It was incredible. The huge pop just from the crowd, and the real negative just boo of just vitriol from the crowd when ELP performed the Styles Clash, I think on Yo, during the match. It was towards the latter part of the match, and just the crowd just went boo like that. And ELP, he's over as a heel right now. He could go nuclear at any time with something, so we'll see what happens. ELP then tries for a low blow, but Sho was wearing a cup like an athletic supporter. I laughed at this, and that turned the tide in favor for Roppongi 3K, because the double stomp, double shock arrow tandem maneuver equaled a 1-2 free for Sho and Yo, a new IWGP Junior Tag Team Champions, and Rocky Romero, who was at ringside accompanying Roppongi 3K, which he always does, admits that the cup's his idea. So, and we end up with the visual from last night of Yo physically eating his athletic supporter after the match. I don't know. Japan is weird. British heavyweight title, the Rev Pro belt, on the line next as Zack Sabre Jr. takes on Sonata. The entrance music for Evil and Sonata on the LIJ side is awesome. This could be a dark horse match of the night. It was it was World of Sports style, lots of technical prowess. It was amazing. Sonata went for a standing moonsault, and ZSJ caught him in a leg vice. Say what? And I put down, this was a tweet that actually picked up some steam on my account, so thank you very much for all who interacted with this one. My exact verbiage is, this is what ROH's old pure title should have been, and no, I won't let 2004 go. Yeah, that's a subject for another video, is the Ring of Honor pure title. I think that's a great discussion point. Maybe we'll have that discussion in 2020 sometime. It could have been a lot more, but it ended up being a lot less than it should have been, if that makes sense. But you put two athletes like that in there competing over that belt, that gets that division over in a heartbeat for sure. Hold for counter hold, it was a game of mental chess, and ZSJ with a quick roll up to retain a 1-2 free. What a beautiful match. The run time for that one was as I look at the clock here. Yeah, there we go. 12:32 for that one. The previous match, Roppongi 3K versus Ishimori and El Fantasma was 14:08, and then of course Liger's retirement match was 12:16. So it got you caught up on all the times there for that. The next contest, the U.S. Heavyweight title match with Jon Moxley taking on Juice Robinson. And after another blackout with New Japan World, I finally switched to the Japanese feed for the majority of the rest of the night. And what I ended up doing is on my computer / television set, I just had the Japanese feed up and going with the sound down. And then on a tablet, I was able to reboot the audio commentary. So the audio commentary on the English side, because there was that issue with the frames kind of dropping and missing and kind of giving it like a 1995, 1996, 1997 new generation WWF pay-per-view flashback look to it, which was fun but kind of made me feel a little nauseous towards the end of it. I just plugged in a pair of headphones and fired up the tablet and just put the tablet down and paid no attention to the tablet, flipped the cover on the tablet and that stuff, and was listening to the English audio while watching the Japanese feed. It was a little out of sync, but it worked actually very nicely to get around that issue. So, always thinking. But anyways, Moxley and Juice. This match started off hot. Juice jumped Mox before, just to get the bell ringing. These guys have major heat from earlier in 2019. David Finlay ended up in Juice's corner at ringside, of course, supporting his IWGP Tag Team Championship partner. Mox yelling to Juice to quit during the figure four was such great drama and that stuff. You can tell that John is just having fun in Japan with this. This is great. This was way better than our first contest. Yes, it was. Mox hit for the finish. Mox hits the Paradigm Shift, FKA to Death Rider, if you're talking NJPW. 1, 2, 3, and Mox retains the U.S. title, which was a little bit of a shock. What was more shocking was what happened after the bell. The music of Minoru Suzuki hits, and Suzuki comes down to ringside and hits Mox with a pile driver. So that looks like that's next on the agenda for Jon Moxley in New Japan, is a date with Minoru Suzuki, I should say, for the U.S. belt, defending the U.S. belt. Could it happen as early as tonight at New Year's Dash? Maybe. Or even something or somewhere else. Who knows? But either way, it's going to be must-see television for sure. Never Openweight belt was on the line next, where we had Hiroki Goto take on Kenta from the Bullet Club. Goto looking for revenge for his buddy Shibata, and Kenta is walking in as the Never Openweight champion here. It was a really hard-hitting style type encounter. Oh, and before we get any farther with that, the runtime for Moxley and Robinson was 12:48. So that match was 12 minutes and 48 seconds. This one, where Hiroki Goto defeated Kenta and became the new Never Openweight champion, ran 16:12, if you're keeping track at home. Again, hard-hitting style, a very sick tornado DDT into Snake Eyes on the top rope by Kenta. The guys exchange hard strikes and no one goes down. A GTW by Goto, only 2, and then a GTR by Free got Goto the pinfall championship. And the new Never Openweight champion is Hiroki Goto, and we think that's the end of Kenta for this night. We think that that's it for Bullet Club, that Jay White's their last hope. Well, stay tuned. We'll talk more about that as the review keeps on going here. News announcement after that, kind of upcoming events. The only real change, I think, off of this, and I can't remember if it was the same way last year or not. I'll have to go back through the videos and see. But I think the new beginning in Sapporo was potentially a 2-day event last year, but this year it definitely is. It's now 2 days on February 2nd and the 3rd, and that's going to be the next big one for New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, keep it here. We'll take a look at it if we get some time to squeeze it into the schedule, and I think we might be able to. Dominion this year, June 14th, and the big shocker, no American dates yet, but they said stay tuned to NJPW and NJPWworld.com to find out about potential international locations and spots. Is the U.S. on the horizon? Kind of have to when looking at the TV deals and that stuff, but they have to get on a television network in the States in order to do so. Other countries, the UK, Australia, what do they got going on? Because they've been there before. Could Canada potentially be on the list for New Japan Pro Wrestling? And, even more specific to that, Western Canada could be a potential thing there. So I scratched the chin, wondering. Then it came time for the de facto losers bracket from the Double Gold Dash the night before, but this was anything but a losers match. This is anything but a bronze medal encounter. I would think, like I had mentioned before, that the winner of Jay White versus Kota Ibushi would end up becoming kind of a de facto number one contendership for the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, whoever that is, that walks out with both belts, the double gold champion, if you will, at the end of tonight, either Naito or Okada. A real oh my god moment early on as Ibushi crushes his throat, goes throat first into the ring or the ring barricade at ringside, when Jay White knocked him off the apron into the barricade. And that was very reminiscent of almost like a Ricky Steamboat, Macho Man Randy Savage thing from 1987. It was just brutal. Both men were feeling the effects of going the distance last night in their respective encounters. Ibushi, though, doing this thing where he kind of just slips into a trance almost and becomes impervious and nothing can hurt him. I'm not sure if this is a new thing with him or not. I didn't really sadly notice it in the matchup last night, not last night, but on night one, I should say. But it was painfully evident here in night two. I shouldn't say painfully. It was very obvious and evident in night two. It seemed like that was part of the story that they wanted to tell. A top rope Uranagi from the top rope. Only two. White on Ibushi. Ibushi with a V-trigger, though, to quell White's momentum. Shout out to Kenny Omega. White flat throws a chair at Ibushi's head, and Gato smokes Kota with brass knuckles. And then a bloody Sunday and a Blade Runner for the 1-2-3 for Jay White. White very lucky for the win. The runtime on this one was 24:58, and it just shows the importance on how big a heel Jay White will be for New Japan Pro Wrestling this year in 2020, because it's obvious he's going to be an upper card heel with them. And man, it's quite the deal to have Goto involved in that match, or not Goto, sorry. It's quite the deal to get Gato involved in that match, and just the plunder chucking at the end and that stuff was just very brutal. A very brutal encounter for sure. And of course, that's 3 big losses in 2 years at Wrestle Kingdom for Kota Ibushi. So there we go. Can Kota get it done on a big stage? I think he's going to be now. I think with the events, with what happened in the main event last night and that stuff, I think now we take a look at him being potentially the guy that can't get it done on a big stage now in New Japan. That might be his storyline going forward, because evidently the way they book things there, you always have to have at least one guy doing that. Next contest was, to me, the most intriguing match of the night. We had Chris Jericho take on Hiroshi Tanahashi. If Tanahashi beat Jericho here, he automatically gets at any time a AEW World Championship title shot. I laughed at the promo video before. It was Tanahashi walking into a club dressed up like Jericho, and there was a band on stage that was kind of doing punk rock on stage, and Tanahashi basically just cold cocks the lead singer and takes over the band, and I can't understand what he's singing, but it's funny. The crowd's laughing, so it was very hilarious. They added the lyrics to Tana's theme, just pretty much to go Ace, like that. It's okay. It's a very WWE type maneuver with, back in the day they used to add like the whole, well, most recently the Burn It Down with Seth Rollins theme music. Is it needed? No. Does it add something to the song? I guess. So kind of the same feeling here. And then Jericho walks out, but while they play Fozzy in the Tokyo Dome, they play some generic rock biddle on the New Japan World stream. So there was talk about the Forbidden Portal, and Yes, could a New Japan Pro Wrestling contracted star get the win over an AEW contracted star and set himself in line for an AEW World Championship match sometime probably in 2020, or if not that sooner, within the next month or two? Who knows? The match starts after an exchange. Tana hits Jericho's famous cover taunt, the "come on, baby," like that. The English announce table ends up getting annihilated as they brawl to the outside in a callback to Jericho Omega from Wrestle Kingdom a couple of years back. And then shortly thereafter, Jericho hits Tanahashi's taunt with the air guitar, we saw the referee, Uno, Red Shoes, get obliterated, absolutely obliterated by a stinger splash by Tanahashi. And after that, a high fly flow to the outside by Tana. Both these guys are turning the clocks back in this match. They did not look as old as they are in this thing. Jericho got a 2 count off of a lion salt, and then Jericho caught Tana with a cold breaker in midair as Tana was going for another high fly flow for only 2. Jericho then goes for the Judas effect, that spinning back elbow that he does, and Tanahashi hits the cold breaker, only 2. Jericho finally gets Tana in the lion tamer again. He had attempted it a couple times and got Tana to tap, and the Forbidden Portal remains padlocked. The runtime on this thing was 22:24. Would have been a dark horse match of the night, but the main event, I thought, over-delivered and was the best match of the 2 nights here coming up. So, but this one pretty much in the top 5, if not a close third in behind that junior heavyweight title match from night 1. So that's just my opinion on it. The double gold dash main event with Tetsuya Naito and Kazuchika Okada. This was a rematch of the Wrestle Kingdom 12 IWGP title match. Is this it for the Intercontinental Championship belt, the IWGP Intercontinental Championship belt? They've been talking about gassing it lately, so there's talk about that. Is this it for the unification of it, or is this just something to do in storyline where the winner will walk out with both belts? Combined attendance for both nights at the Tokyo Dome was 70,071, with night 2's attendance being slightly down from night 1, 30,013 tonight for attendance. And like I said, I gave you the 2-day total. Right off the top of that was 70,071 again. Okada looks confident from the start. Naito looks defeated already. Okada was on offense since the beginning, and Naito kind of more on a backpedaling side. Naito was sent crashing to the floor off of an Okada dropkick, and this is where the knees started to really bother him here, and especially with this. Okada sends Naito knee first into a table at ringside. So again, they're working on Naito's surgically repaired knee again, as the storyline that his knee will give out at some time during this match. Later on in the match, a poison Rana from the top rope, only 2. Destino by Naito on Okada, only 2. And then Okada hits the Rainmaker, the clothesline, only 2. And we're 30 minutes in, just like that. And this match just was amazing, just ballistic pace. Much like night 1 before, where Okada hit Ibushi with, it seemed like a billion Rainmakers in this match. Okada hit 2 straight Rainmakers, and while he was going for a third, Naito reversed it into Destino, which was only a 2. And then Naito tries to go for the impossible. Over the past year, he has tried and failed in numerous matches to go for his old finish, the Stardust Press. And it almost burned him here, but he actually landed it. And that was a huge pop from the crowd. So that worked over the past year in storyline wise and that stuff, where he couldn't hit his old finish for the life of him in matches, and then in this match he finally hits it. Stardust Press. Naito though only 2 off of that, and then finally, after another Destino attempt, 1-2-3, we have Tetsuya Naito finally getting to the top of the mountain and becoming the double gold champion, the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, and the IWGP Intercontinental Champion. Wow, what a great way to end a show. But it's not over. As Naito addresses the crowd, Kenta rolls in and hits a go to sleep and climbs up on top of Naito and hits Shibata's pose. And it looks like that's going to be the next in line for the IWGP heavyweight title, or maybe even the Intercontinental title. We don't know yet if they're abolishing it or what. But Kenta wants Naito, and this is going to be a classic feud. Maybe this is what they build to towards Dominion. Heck, maybe this is what they build to towards tonight. We don't know yet, because New Year's Dash is such a mysterious thing. We'd have no idea what the card's like. So, and I haven't seen anything online. So, my rating out of 10 for this card for night 2. I like night 2 a lot better than I did night 1. I thought that the matches here were kind of a little bit more quality than they were on night 1. So I'm going to give night 2 a 9. You know what? I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. 9.5 out of 10. It clicked all the boxes for me for a show. The 0.5 I'm taking off just due to the streaming issues with New Japan World. Just quite simply, they have to be better if they want to use that as kind of a primary way to get their shows out to North American audiences now at this point. I think they will. I think they'll work on it. And for the most part, heck, this was a very interesting idea when it was pitched last year, the 2-night Wrestle Kingdom. And it came to fruition in a big way over the past couple of days. And going into New Year's Dash tonight, it's really interesting to see what's going to happen here. So, no, this was a very awesome type deal here with these sides and these factions and just faction warfare throughout, and the double gold concept and everything. I really enjoyed the structure of this show, and I think that we've got 2 potential 2020 Match of the Year candidates out of this show, definitely with Ospreay and Tanahashi from night 1 for the junior belt, and then on night 2, the Okada versus Naito match I thought was beautiful. I thought it clicked all of the boxes. So anyways, later days, happy wrestling watching, folks. We'll catch you next time on Nitromaniac TV's Wrestling Unlimited. I'm Kellen Nitro. For your comments below, like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Stay safe, and go check this show out if you get the chance. It was amazing. All right, later, folks.